Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to play some Abuelo's Awakening. So, you remember Abuelo's Awakening back when we were playing an Rakdos Returns deck that reanimates, I believe, some, Rakdos combo, Rakdos Return combo that returns a Phyrexian Metamorph and then just keeps copying and then just try to kill our opponent in one turn doing that. We've since gone away with that combo. It's not as strong, it's not as fast. Well, it probably is as strong as Infinite, but it's not as fast as the way this deck will work because it's just Azorius, Abuelos onto Omniscience, and once we get Omniscience, we get to cast free Invasion of Archavios. And Invasion of Archavios now help us get out this town ain't big enough or Season of Weaving. Either one of those will work, and basically we're gonna keep bouncing back Invasion of Archavios and keep replaying it to get an instant sorcery card from our graveyard, and that instant sorcery will be this town ain't big enough. Well, you might think, how does that win, right? If you just keep bouncing it back, you just get the same triggers over and over. Obviously, that's not good enough. But Invasion of Archavios can also help us get Besiege the Mirror. We're going to besiege into a second invasion. So, once we have a second invasion, this town ain't big enough can target 2 invasions, and that means that for each ETB, we can return an instant sorcery from our graveyard or from the sideboard. So, one of them return this town ain't big enough to bounce 2 invasions. The other one, we're going to get Breach the Multiverse, and we're just going to mill them out with Breach. And then what would happen if we also mill out, right? If we mill out ourselves, as well as milling out our opponents with Breach, and we don't win that turn, we can always just, return the 2 invasions with this town, and then get Titania's Command, and what's the other card? The Steps Between World instead, with those 2 invasions. Titania's Command will exile our opponent's graveyard, and will gain 1 life for each. But more importantly, we exile their graveyard. Then we step between world, shuffle the entire graveyard. Each player shuffle their graveyard into their deck and draw 7 cards. We can do that because all we did was mill with Breach, but our opponent can't do that because everything got exiled. So that's also a secondary win con if we can't win that turn with just breaching our opponent and take all of their cards. Normally, when you slam Abuelos onto Omniscience, your opponents know that's game over, but let's see if we can get there. So the whole rest of the deck is to help us get there, and our mana base, or mana base is really just blue and white, but our split of cards are going to be a bunch of card draws, a bunch of Surveil, and trying to get Abuelos on turn 4. That's the whole idea. We can back that up with a little bit of a counterspell and Confounding Riddles, but that's about it. So let's talk about the whole deck list. In the early game, we want to have some mill cards that gets instant sorceries back from our graveyard, so we're going to have 4 Fallaji Archaeologists, 4 Picklock Prankster, that does exactly that, right? Mill a certain number of cards and gets an instant sorcery card back from the graveyard to our hand. We can also have 4 Moment of Truth that lets us choose 1 card from the top 3 cards into our hand and 1 card from the top 3 cards into our graveyard, and the last card goes in the bottom deck, but that doesn't matter, right? So if there's an Abuelos and Omniscience, the Omniscience is going to go into the graveyard, Abuelo goes in our hand. We also have 2 Charter Communications. That's Chart a Course, which we can draw 2 cards and discard a card. And if we happen to draw an Omniscience into our hand, we can discard it that way as well. So you don't want Omniscience stuck in our hand. You can always discard with Chart a Course. So that's our 2 mana plays. 3 mana plays, we have 4 Confounding Riddle, which is a 3 mana counterspell. Counterless, the target player plays 4, which isn't as good. But you can also use the second side, which technically the first side, right? Look at the top 4 card of our library and put 1 of those cards into our hand, the rest into our graveyard. So if there's, Abuelos and Omniscience on top, we put the Abuelos in our hand, everything else, including the Omniscience, into the graveyard. That would be pretty useful. And Confounding Riddle is also a secondary counter spell that could back up once we play Omniscience, because once we Abuelo back in Omniscience, because once it does, it is a creature that our opponent can remove. We can counter the removal with a free cast Confounding Riddle, and now they have nothing else to do. We also have a 3 mana Ephara Dispersal, which could be a 1 mana play. It's just return target attacking creature. Technically just returning any creature, but if it's attacking, it only costs 1. Return target creature back to its owner's hand, and we Surveil 2. Then that can help us put this Omniscience into our graveyard. Then we have 4 Abuelo's Awakening, 4 Invasion of Archavios, and 4 Omniscience for the combo. And then the land base, of course, we're going to go fast. 24 lands, because a lot of Surveil lands, we can toss them into the graveyard. 1 playing, 4 Island, 4 Adarkar Wastes, 4 Floodfarm Verge, 4 Meticulous Archive, 4 Seachrome Coast, and then to kind of snuck in a little bit of a removal against red. We have 2 Blast Zone against all the 1-drops. Also kills the fairy decks. 2 Blast Zone, really just on 1. And then 1 Conduit Pylon that can help us surveil a little bit better. Sideboard, already talked about. We got the main cards we need to have are Besiege, Step, this town, Titania, and Breach. Now to fill that out, sometimes we want to just play Invasion of Archavios to remove an opponent's cards or have a little bit more play. We have 1 Season of Weaving so that we can, whenever we need to, we can draw 5 cards for 6 mana. Not great, but might be useful against a slower mid-range deck. Not against control, because they'll just counter it, but against mid-range, if we have time, we can do that. And if our opponent has Graveyard Hate, we can always fetch the Disenchant to disenchant their Graveyard Hate, should that be necessary. The whole idea of this deck, of course, is got Abuelo's Omniscience, so I call it Grandpa Knows. Now let's go into the game and see how it works. Alright, our opponent is Big Daddy Huckabee. Oh, not Big Daddy Huckabee, he's infamous. Alright, we're gonna go first. Are they a counterspell heavy deck? Because this is a very good hand if they're not. Of course, I'm gonna see Island turn 1 and just be sad about it. There it is. Hopeless Nightmare. You're gonna start me off with the discard on the Omniscience, so I am okay with that. Alright, let's chart a course. Charter a course. Let's go to Charter Communications and discard my Ephara. I want to chart another course next turn. How likely are they going to attack me? I don't know, maybe a land discard there would have been better. I do need the 4 lands, and I need them not to get bounced. That's a lot of things that I need to happen. So let's Sequem Coast again. Yeah, we'll just pass turn. We'll just pass a little turn. Pass a little turn right here. Yes, no, maybe? I don't know. Can you repeat the question? Alright, he's got 2 lands and nothing. 2 lands and a green. Let's pick a lock on our prankster, and we will have our moment of truth. Alright, okay. Invasion of Archavios. I think I just moment here, right? I can... Yeah, I think I just moment here. If nothing else, I could Invasion to get the 1 card I need. So, that's a moment of truth. I think I take the Picklock Prankster in my hand. I'll put that in the graveyard, and I'll put that into my library. Mill 4 more. We're just looking for that 1 card in our deck, right? There it is. You gotta excuse me. I am dying. We tossed the fairy. So, I guess the trick is to... What would be the trick, right? I don't have a Omniscience. So maybe right here I should be playing the Omniscience. I think I go the Fallaji. Fallaging route. Alright, another riddle. Another riddle is pretty good. Now, if he plays anything, I can counter. If he doesn't play anything, I can win next turn. Cool. Big Daddy Huckabee, feel the wrath of the Mana Screw. Alright, our opponent is the Avery 61. Alright. We get to go first. This is... I guess it's an okay hand. I like this hand other than the fact that Omniscience is not something we can discard right away. But we'll have to make do with it. We'll see what happens. This is Surveil, and this is also Surveil, right? But this Surveil comes in a tap. So let's start with that. Ooh, Charter, of course. Charter Communications. Ready for me to discard the Omniscience. Please don't be blue. Please don't be blue. Okay, he's red. Red-green. And you draw a land with this, and we win. Studio. Alright, let's throw our Charter Communications. Surveil. I need to draw a land, right? So it goes to graveyard. There's a land. Really? One lander, huh? Do I even care about this? Alright, what's on my sideboard I want to get? Weaving? I mean, I'd probably just breach to get another. Yeah, right? I think it's fine. I'm playing the Prankster here. Does it do much of anything? It forces a block. Let's go. Force him to use his mana. He may not know what's going on. I want a blocker. It's very important for me to have a blocker out. Lightning Strike? Wow, that is a terrible play. But okay. Let's show him why that's terrible. Preemptive GG. You got no match. Here's why. Alright, let's see if our mono red opponent actually want to play this out. Yeah, this is gonna get him. Yep, did not want to play it out. You're getting Omniscience into Arcavios. No way to come out of that. Alright, our opponent is Holy Flower. All flowers are holy. How dare you? Alright, it's an okay hand. I mean, like, hope I don't get turn 1 Dossies. But, you know, we're gonna have to make do. Alright, we'll start with the archive. Start with the archive. Chart of Communications. I like that card. Alright, no turn 1 Thoughtseize, but it can still happen. But I don't think there's any justification for not doing it this turn. I guess I could pranks. No. Drawing 2 cards at sorcery speed is the right thing to do, since there's not much I have to interact with. Rakdos, though. Yeah, there is a duress. I knew that was coming. It's about the 3rd time I got duressed in like 5 games. I've never seen a duress playing any other deck. Thanks, Matchmaker. You're the best. Alright, let's dig 4 cards deep. Get our moment of truth. And all we can do is show off the moment. That's 6 cards deep, right? Maybe I'll get there. Maybe. Only a maybe. I probably have another duress. Or they're gonna rope out. That works for me too. I mean, I could just Harkasm missions by drawing 10 lands if they're not gonna do anything. So, hello? Huh? You're gonna make a play? Just gonna rope out Holy Flower. Okay, Arena's full of this kind of stuff where you're not sure if they're being a sore loser or, you know, it's just a DC. Which I would go with the second one. It does happen a lot, but sometimes people are sore losers. That 2 cards deep. This is 4 cards deep. So 1 into our graveyard. Charter of course can go to the graveyard, right? I think I want Invasion in the deck still. And we pick lock Prankster for 4 cards. Nope, could not get there. We did get a Confounding Riddle. Alright, 3 mana. Will he just duress me? Do I hold up the Riddle? Invasion is a good card, right? I mean, it's hard. Let me just hold up the Riddle. And will have to wait till 8 mana for Invasion plus Riddles, which is hard. I don't think I'll ever get there. Cruel Claw's Heist. Alright, they don't have a Riddle. I'm not letting you heist me. Of course, you can heist me again. You know. Got to sling out the counterspells when I got it. Playing against a hardcore discard deck. While I cannot get to the one card that I need. Top 3, one in my hand. Yes, no, maybe? Oh boy. Well, there are days when an opponent does this, right? It's just the worst kind of players. They rope the longest. This into my hand, this into the graveyard, this into the bottom deck. I would like another Confounding Riddle. Right. Another Prankster is okay. That's top 8 cards out of 34. That's only 1 in the graveyard. Right, so maybe I'll get another one. Maybe. So, opponent, would you like to play anything or just let it go? Just gonna let it go. Alright, this heist will have to go through. There's no way for me to stop that, but he doesn't heist. Alright, does not heist. Second main phase passes the second main phase. So let's prank. There it is. Good old Abuelo's Awakening. Let's put my turn here. GG. He sees the Abuelo and quits. Well, no one let me fucking combo. Alright, fine. Alright, our opponent is MC New York Lives. I don't know if it's lives or lives, but let's hope he denied her. So we got Charter Communications, Picklock Prankster, and Ephara. Opponent go first, so let's see what kind of aggro they are. The worst kind of aggro. Scampy. Let's see Chrome Coast it up. If he pumps too much into the Scampy, we can Ephara it. Right now, I don't think I'll do that. This board is kind of scary, right? Do I bounce it? Does help me surveil. You know what? He pumps a lot of things into an attacker, but I can't. No, I have to do it. Alright, let's just bounce this. Surveil 2 cards. Okay. Guess those are the cards. Those are definitely the cards. We just gotta survive. Gotta survive the turns. Hard Challenger. Straight up attacking me. No attacks at all, huh? Well, let's go to our Charter Communications. Draw 2, discard a card. See Chrome Coast. No attacks. Now this turn is going to be scary. I actually have nothing. Should have thought about this. Right, I actually have nothing here. Fallaji. I mean, if this whiffs, I'm kind of just screwed. I did survive long enough, but yeah. Alright. Oh no, I have an Arcavios. How did I miss that? Alright, GG. It's Arcavios. Sideboard? No? Don't want to play it out? Goodbye, Red. What? Was that hidden somewhere? Where did that Arcavios come from? I have no idea. Check the video again. I think it must have been high. Alright, our opponent's level 7. Yeah, it's not that high. You know, just level 7. Last words you hear playing Commander. Charter Communications with 2 Invasion. Is that good enough? I mean, I think we keep a hand like this, right? It's not great, but hopefully we'll draw into something. Hope the red aggro, I can use the Ephara. There's red. Sort of red aggro. Alright, we're gonna take the damage from the Higher Claw. No matter what. I'm gonna take 2, no matter what. So even though I hope that I rare aggro, this is not what I hope for. Now they got a hero. Moment. We double Ephara? That goes a lot deeper, right? I think I'll go double Ephara. Yeah. Alright, what's put in the graveyard? Fallaji or a land? Let's put a land in the graveyard. Not a charter, of course. This is gonna be pretty painful. Alright, let's Ephara the one of the higher claws. I mean, yeah, that's what I wanted, but I'm not really getting the card. This is difficult. I guess I should have chartered a course last turn, right? That was my mistake. Would have gone a lot deeper if I chartered a course last turn. Screaming Nemesis, that's fine. I ain't gaining life here. But I'm taking a lot of damage. Let's get the Ephara on the Screaming Nemesis. Can I get an Omniscience? No, I cannot. Alright, so I guess I Fallaji and a Picklock Prankster all in the same turn to try to survive. I mean, I don't draw either of those cards, so I guess the question is, do I want Picklock Prankster, right? It goes 4 deep. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'm dead next turn. That's fun. Is there any way to get out of that? I mill 4 cards. I put up a blocker. I can't block any of these. I could get another Ephara, but that's slim pickings here. I didn't get there fast enough. I did not get there fast enough. But hey, 8 is not 0. If you play the Screaming Nemesis and I block it, we're still in this. Plays anything else, I am screwed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 damage right here. It's all about this turn, right? Let's see the rope. That is very good for me. Alright, down to 6. So I take these 3. I block this, so I take 1 from the backswing. So I take 4 total. I go down to 2. Cannot gain life anymore, but that's fine. Our opponent's not going to have a turn anymore. He's tapped out. Let's go Abuelo's Awakening. For 0. I did get there fast enough. What do you know? Arcavios. Cyborg. Oh, is he gonna let me do this? Okay. Alright, so that's the play, right? He actually wants to play this out, so let's get this down. Arcavios. Into Cyborg. Into Breach. We go to this town. Return both of these. And we'll Breach. I don't think this matters. Get a Picklock Prankster. Graveyard. Let's get this down. Graveyard. He's making me do this, alright? He's making me do the actual combo. Instead of just quitting like a good little boy, he has to make me mill through his whole deck. Challenger? Why not? Let's get another Picklop Prankster. Arcavios. Alright, Graveyard. Let's get this down. Arcavios. Graveyard. Let's get Breach. Get this down again. Oh, come on, just quit. You really want to watch this? I will do it. I'm not above doing this. Also, I can just kill him with the Emberheart. What's the fun in that, right? We'll kill him the good old-fashioned mill out your whole deck way. Graveyard. This town. I guess we'll call him a trooper for letting me combo off on him. How many cards? 18. Breach. I only have 9 cards. I have no cards left in my deck. But that's fine. I don't need cards in my deck. Let's get the Screaming Nemesis. And now, can I decline? I can just get a card from his deck, right? Well, I cannot decline. So let's mill 3 cards. 3 cards I don't have. More prowess. Graveyard. This down. So, without the Emberheart Challenger, you might think, how do I win? Right? So all I did was mill him. How do I win this game? So first let me do this. Let's balance both the invasions. So this is already lethal here, but let's not worry about that. Watch as I breach. I get nothing. All his cards are milled. And let's get Manifold Mouse. And on my graveyard, let's get a Picklop Prankster again. Alright, so we go to Invasion. We go to sideboard here to get Titania's Command. I can't gain life, but I can do this. So, let's see. Exile target player's graveyard. And then I will create 2 bears. So I would have gained a lot of life had I been able to gain life, but I couldn't. And so I have 48 cards, right? So let's Invasion of Archavios again. And just to be safe, I'm going to Invasion the safe way and just return from my graveyard this town. In case I screw this up somehow. Let's then bounce both of these. He's still here. Level 7 is still here. He's a trooper. Alright, so then we go to this. We'll go to our sideboard. And we'll return Steps Between Worlds. And when we play Step Between Worlds, each player shuffle their hand and graveyard into the library. Hand and graveyard into the library. And then draw 7 cards. Well, I'm going to draw 7 cards. They're going to draw none. Well, they're going to draw, 5. So when he tried to draw 7, he'll die. So, where's the alternate toss? Shuffle hand and graveyard into their library. He can choose not to shuffle, by the way. Don't think it matters because he has no deck. So, if he doesn't shuffle, he won't draw 7. He just stays with those 5. And he will deck out next turn. Of course, I'm not giving him next turn because he can burn me. I'll just attack him with this 16 damage, but he's out of the game. I thought he was a trooper, but he just kind of rage quit. So yeah, red for you. So that's how this deck would have lethal. So that's the idea. I still have to play it out, but playing it out is still a winning game, so I'm okay with it. I was a little bit salty that he almost rushed me there, but that attack with the Nemesis was wrong. If he had any sort of burn off my board, he might be able to get there just to kill me. Instead, he wanted to make sure I don't gain life, which is not how you win. You win by killing your opponent, not stopping from gaining life. And yeah, that's a GG. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm emoting. I'm pretty sure he's not in the game. Alright, so there's not a lot of timer. We'll watch this timer burn out, and then he will lose the game. I think the default choice is decline. so he will not deck out, right? The default choice is not accept. But I'm not actually quite sure how Arena codes this, so let's see what the default choice is for our opponent. As he ropes his entire timer. So yeah, he declines, right? That's his default choice. Alright, so my Step Between Worlds is gone, but that's fine, because then we can just give this double strike. Double strike. And then turn card sideways. Bang. Already dead. It doesn't matter the double strike, the first strike killed him. GG. For me, not for you. You rage quit, so that's red for you. Alright, our opponent is Mean Guns. Well, as opposed to the nice guns that we all know we use. Alright, so we go first. We got Omniscience. Not way to discard it, but we'll find a way, I think. Hello. Looks very Orzhov-y. Please don't hit on my graveyard. This is Tessa, right? Nice Tessa sleeves too. Alright, let's start with the Meticulous Archive. Let's see how meticulous we can be. Invasion, I mean we need a third land, so Invasion is gonna have to go, unfortunately. Alright, Simic. They got rabbits now. They're what? What? Okay, I mean this looks like Toxic, but they throw a Mockingbird, which is really weird. Okay, it's Ivy. Fine, I guess we throw back. No, let's just Moment of Peace it. Or Moment of Truth. Yikes. I want this in my hand. I guess I'll put Charter Communications in the graveyard. No, actually, I want this in my hand. We'll put the Blast Zone in the graveyard, maybe? Oh, that's not good, right? I mean, we're gonna have to do that. Those are some good top 3 cards. Unfortunately, I can't keep any of them. So, let's Chart a Course, Scar Omniscience, and we'll throw a Seachrome Coast. We'll see what happens. Can't be blocked this turn. Draw 2 cards. Pretty good. Bounce the Ivy. See if I want to interact with this. I don't know if they want to interact with the bounce spell. They might. You know, Stop a Surveil is not that unimportant. Shore up. Cool. Great way to interact with my board. Alright, let's archive it up. Unfortunately, we had to throw away one of the most important cards, so I mean, we just gotta keep tossing cards until we get the right card, right? I don't think he's gonna copy this. Ivars? I mean, he's getting all the good cards. For the Ivy deck, he's drawing the Ivies. For my deck, I'm not drawing Abuelos. I would have drawn Abuelos. Gonna draw 2 cards. It's got a lot of ward. And no Spell Pierce right now, but drawing 2 cards, and you can probably get a second land to counter my stuff. Nope. Didn't get there. Gotta throw out the riddles left and right, huh? Probably game over on us, really. But you better play it through. Second combat research. Yeah, yeah. I mean, our opponent's living their best life. So this is our last turn. He draws like 4 cards. Oh, Jesus Christ. Does he have Counterspell in their deck, though? Because there's no counterspell, we might still be able to get there. If they have counterspell, we're just screwed. So we also have temporary lockdowns in his deck, right? I think that's in the deck. I mean, you know. Talk about the best card against their deck. Confounding Riddle. What would you like to do against that? Oh boy, that is that's just ridiculous. So we chart a course? No. I think we Fallaji. Fallaji is 3 cards deep. Chart a course is only 2 cards deep. They gotta discard a card. Alright, I'm getting trolled. That's fine. Yeah, I'm getting trolled here pretty bad, right? This is gonna be flying. Alright, that's not enough mana. So everything else did not work out for us. Alright, our opponent is Ramune 1589. That's a little bit old. I think you gotta get a new one. Alright, well, we gotta dodge black and we gotta dodge blue. It's a little bit hard. Let's find out whether or not we can do that. I'm getting Thoughtseize or Duress every day, or we're getting countered. So, we have Abuelos. That's pretty good. They're black. Optimistic Scavenger. Alright. Now, turn 1 Ephara if he attacks. If he doesn't attack, then he doesn't attack. So, we'll figure out what to do from there. I do need another land. Well, 2 more lands for Abuelos. Oh, come on! That's annoying. He's gonna turn 1 rope me. If he's playing this freaking fairy deck, and he's gonna turn 1 rope, you deserve to get banned on Arena. Get out! Oh man, I'm sorry everyone. You gotta watch this dumb video because of the. I mean, he's pretty old, right? So maybe he's just ancient and doesn't know how to use his internet connection. No, he's looking at his cards. He's like, oh, those are cards. Yeah, I feel like I could play one of those cards. Maybe I should play this thing called a land. What's a land? Maybe I play those. No, I'm just gonna, you know, pass my entire turn. It's not like I'm here to play Magic or anything. We got a free turn. So it's like we went first. But, doesn't mean we're gonna win. It does mean our opponent might rope out again, and then we just... I'm gonna keep this in there. This is Arena Experience 101. You get a good hand, everything is set up correctly, and your opponent just does not do this. So, you gotta fight through bad hands, you gotta fight through bad matchups, and then you have to fight through the worst kind where you have good hands, good matchups, and opponents kind of just sit there. Yeah, this is the worst. But, you know, sometimes we make do with what we have. Our opponent came back, decides he actually wants to play the game, attacks me with the Scavenger, and then doesn't do anything, so I'm gonna scavenge. Let's scavenge out a Confounding Riddle and he quits. Yeah, again, like I said, this is the kind of games that you'll see very often on Arena. It's very. I mean, we're not even in a good position, right? We're getting mana screwed here. How many cards did I mill? All the lands. I mill all the lands. I have no more lands. I have the Chartered Course next turn just to get lands. Yet our opponent does not want to play it out. Typical. Typical. Alright, our opponent is Squee. Golem does kind of look like Squee. But Squee is a cool guy. And Golem's an ass. We're going to go first. 2 Charter Communications. I mean, I guess we keep. There's lots of ping to be had. Start with the Adarkar Wastes. I mean, even if I draw a Floodfarm Verge, I think it starts off on blue, right? Is it not? I don't remember. Oh, okay. We're getting Duress turn 1 again. That's fair. Totally a fair match. Start my Riddle. Start the Omniscience. I got 4 lands. I can get there with 4 lands. Maybe. Oh, okay. What are we playing here? This is what we're playing? I guess we gotta find out who's faster. I'm not bouncing that, so let's Charter a Course. Alright, Charter a Course goes 2 cards deep. Do we discard a Blast Zone? I guess the Blast Zone isn't hitting much in the deck anyways. They did have a Duress, so I gotta be careful with all that duressing. Going to turn 4, he's gonna have another Duress. Now he's gonna have Founding. Chapter 1. Whale. Look at the top 3 cards and put one of them in his hand. You know, I've not seen Abuelos once today, like out of all the cards, which is kind of insane. Okay, there it is. Now I just got to be careful. So he's gonna mill 4 cards. He's gonna mill me or him. He's gonna mill himself. Cool. And then he can probably Attraxa this turn. Got 8 exactly, right? That's a Traxa mana. Is he just going to go into the Atraxa? Whale. I got a... return a permanent to his owner's hand. Target opponent discards a card and look at the top 3 cards. Alright. Discard the archive. That's what you're doing? Founding again. Alright, he's tapped out. 2 mana play. What is he gonna have? Another Duress? Another Whale. Alright. I guess he can keep cycling that. Can he keep cycling that? I'm not sure how it works. It's gonna make me discard another card. Ephara can go. Gonna mill some more cards. He didn't do nothing else, so time for us to show him what's up. I think we picklock Prankster. There's 2 of them. Moment of truth. Let's take, I don't know, I guess we just take Chart. Bottom, graveyard, bottom deck. I don't think it matters. Yep, GG. Didn't want to play it out because we're going to Abuelo him. I mean, we're both playing degenerate decks, but I got there before he did. So take that. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you see all those games, how does this deck feel? I mean, I've shown all the games where our opponent immediately scoop as soon as we Abuelo Omniscience. So this is definitely one of those decks that I don't think anyone can have fun playing. Honestly, like one game that I actually got to pull off the combo, I thought our opponent was nice enough to stay. Instead, I think they just kind of DC'd or rage quit. But yeah, this is definitely one of those decks where you show the one side of the combo. You show Abuelos into Omniscience and they will immediately scoop. So you don't really need to have any other cards. You don't even have to have a win con. The opponent's not going to sit there to watch it happen. They will just quit the game, which, I mean, it's fine if that's the kind of gameplay that you want to have. But of course, I don't really like that too much, so this is not a deck that I would play too often. But sometimes you just kind of steer into what you know and play a combo deck. And I do really love a combo deck, so I got to try this out. So I did, and it works. It works just fine, and it definitely made our opponent, you know, kind of salty for a lot of the games, which makes me happy. I did also get salty a lot of my own games because, of course, Mono Red does overrun this if they go first and they kill us on turn 3. That happened a few games. Nothing I can do about that. I have Abuelo set up. I had Ephara. I had everything. They still flung something at me, and I died. So that happens. And then, of course, the Pixie can also fight this deck quite well because they have a lot of discard cards that doesn't just make me discard my Omniscience, make me discard my Abuelos. A lot of times, I did get Duress turn 2 or turn 3 right into a prepared Abuelos, and that's not fun, but that will happen a lot in Standard. So, when you play a combo deck, just know that half the times your combo gets disrupted, and you don't feel that good. The other half the time, you actually pull off the combo, and your opponent will rage quit right away, so you don't actually get to see your combo. That's this whole deck in a nutshell. And I hope you like that, but that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.